Alright, good morning everybody. The fourth round of Reforge has just got announced in CN, and we are taking an early preview at it. I repeat, this is an early preview. It's not even in the CN players' hands yet. We just have rough translations and no numbers. Okay, so this is not like a power breakdown of how good each of the Reforges are. This is purely just like an information dump. And starting off, we got our girl Zoya. They coordinated the Zoya Reforge with her 4-star skin, like the Hamel skin, and there's another skin as well, the Nox skin. We now have one for Zoya. And Zoya has this beautiful transition where they play around the moon here. She's got this gorgeous Snow White stuff going on, and then she turns into like the Mania Corruption herself later in the skin. And it is incredible. And they have taken this opportunity to go ahead and release Zoya's Reforge, where they replace Chief's Potesta. Reforge Zoya cannot use Empower, and she cannot use Last Stand. She can't use heals, she can't use shield, she can't use anything. She is very unique. But before we go into Zoya, I am going to go ahead and show off our girl Crash first, because this one has a better translation available right now. Again, early translations, a lot of typos, a lot of other stuff. Again, very, very rough. This is just getting the information out there. But there are 3 Reforges coming with this section, and it's Crash, Zoya, and 99. So Crash, they are leaning further into the shadows, but they basically like remade her entire kit. What's happening here, this first stuff, you probably won't use it too much. I mean, the number of shadows, depending on how many shadows you get, that is actually going to be really important. But what really is going to happen is that they change all of Crash's damage into skill damage, and then get damage multipliers for all that stuff. And then enemies in Crash's normal attack range automatically break invisibility. If she successfully breaks invisibility, she applies stun to that enemy for a few seconds, increases the damage they take. Now, is that going to be used every stage? No. But on the stages where like stealth is a factor and stealth is annoying, like Crash just hard counters everything they do. So that's interesting to see that like there are going to be some stages where Crash is just like best in slot because she's the best at countering invisibility while using invisibility herself. Another thing they do is this is the anchor that you can put on any center. And it's neat that we now have an anchor that reduces your block to 0. So if you specifically want a center to not block things so they stay alive easier, kind of similar to Hamel. Hamel doesn't block anything, and that's how she's able to stay alive so easily. Then this is a really good anchor option in the Reforges to kind of cheese out some stages. So that's going to be interesting to see. But where Crash really starts to see like her returns, she gets a new ultimate, and again, we don't really know what that ultimate does right now, or at least I don't know what that ultimate does right now. But the fact that they recognize that Crash's ultimate was a little weak, and they just decide, you know what, fuck it, we'll replace it with an entirely new ultimate, is a really good sign. And also, her normal attack radius and ultimate range now expands to a 3x4. This is the standard reticle range, so you're thinking like any reticle you have, not the long range reticles, but the normal range ones, right? So Crash is going to be playing like a reticle would for the most part, and then she has this nice AoE ultimate now. Again, we don't know what that ultimate does, but hey, this is a really good sign. Okay, as for Zoya, Zoya's Reforged are even rougher. I do not have it in a fancy template like this. I have it piece by piece. So we're going to walk through each and every single one of Zoya's anchors one by one using Google Translate. Because this is the best that I can do right now. Okay, so Zoya no longer has energy. Instead, she spends Chief gets a new Potesta called Overlimit. And Zoya is the only person right now who uses Overlimit. But she uses Overlimit to go into her ultimate and enhance her effects while she's in that ultimate. And then the other options you have in there, it's the same thing, except that instead of increasing her attacks, like the individual punches in the ultimate, this actually increases the activation of her ultimate. So the first one's more of a long-standing punchy punch. Don't know how good that'll be. And the second one is more of a burst damage Zoya, just continually popping ultimate to break cores. Again, don't know how strong that's going to be. This is just very, very early information. The next one is changes to her passives. And this one is she does a % of true damage based on like how much health the enemy has. They are now turning that into physical damage. So a little bit weaker on that point, but it can crit and it's considered as normal attack damage. So it's way easier to buff Zoya and get that damage way higher. So even though like losing the true damage is a bit of a hit, allowing Zoya to scale with buffs, like scale with Jelena, scale with the crit teams, scale with Lady Pearl, like that's going to severely outpace that difference between true and physical damage. So making her more friendly with her team options. The next one, this is just enhancing her attack speed node. Right now she has after she hits somebody so many times, she gets faster and faster. This is just saying, hey, we're increasing the attack speed. We like that idea, but also to help Zoya keep up, she's also getting she's getting that attack speed for longer. Okay, so that's interesting to see. Next up, I believe this one is the EX anchor that can be placed on any reforged center, and it's really unique. Upon entering combat, attack power is increased by an amount equal to some percentage of the base attack of your allied centers. So basically, she's behaving like Yao. Yao will like stat steal with her ultimate, and you really want to use Yao with like really high attack centers so that Yao can get like become giga buff and start ignoring defenses because she just has so much attack that they stop mattering. And there's a similar thing going on here with Zoya. The idea here is that you pair Zoya with strong allies, and Zoya absorbs all of that attack, and she becomes this mountain of stats that defenses no longer matter against. That's the idea. Now, again, we don't know how effective this is going to be yet. I'm doing a very early preview. It's not available in CN yet. These are just very early translations. So this is exciting to see. But we don't know how effective this is going to be, but this is definitely going along the right path because it worked for Yao, and I'm sure it's going to work for Reforged Zoya. Okay, up next, while in a stance, for every damage reduction taken, Zoya gains blah 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 damage, adds a new skill. Zoya expends all of Chief's energy and deals guaranteed critical damage to everyone around her. This damage is considered normal attack damage. So remember earlier when I was talking about Zoya working with like Lady Pearl and Jelena and others, they are really leaning into Zoya's ability to work with others. So I don't think the first half of this is going to be used all that often, but having the new skill to expend all of your over limit to do a guaranteed burst of damage that you can just like coordinate with Jelena, with Lady Pearl, with Infer, with Shin, with all of your buffers, and just unleash this like giant nuke. That's a really cool thing, and will help Zoya finish fights and be useful in Broken Frontline and Dark Zone and other game modes like Tide of Ashes. Like if you have the one big burst in Tide of Ashes, I mean, it'll work. It'll work. But again, we don't know how effective this is going to be yet. We are just in the theory crafting stage. Okay, this next one, the bonus effects of Chief's overlimit skill is increased by a percentage. So we don't even know what overlimit does yet, aside from working with Zoya and letting her enter her enhanced states. But Zoya does work with that overlimit state. And while the bonus effect from Chief's overlimit skill is active, Zoe's, that's supposed to be Zoya's damage to enemies with pierced cores is increased by X%. I'm pretty sure pierced cores means enemies in the core broken state, but you know, who knows? These are rough translations. So, but that's the exciting news behind our girl Zoya. Reforged Zoya is coming back, and she is coming back with a vengeance. Both her 4-star skin and her Reforge. Now, this will come out into the global servers in about 3 months. Okay, so this is very far out. If you're watching this, it comes out globally like mid-February. Okay, so it's still a while out, but it's coming. Now, I don't have the translations ready for 99, and I don't know how effective these centers are going to be, so you guys are going to have to come back for future Reforge videos because this is merely just a preview. This is not just... This has no strength, this is no playtesting, this is nothing other than rough translations with no numbers. So come back and catch the next one, and I will see you guys in about 3 weeks for Rahu Reforge and Adela Reforge. Like we haven't even received the third round of Reforges on global yet, and the fourth one is been announced. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time for more Reforge news, and until then, I'll catch you then. Peace. Again, if you haven't already, check out my other videos for more news and information and clears and testing and tier lists and guides and all the other stuff that I do. Check back in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, so that you can see the actual gameplay effect of these Reforges, and also come back for other events and everything else that you might want to see, other Reforges like Rahu and like Adela. And don't forget to like and subscribe and join and all of that. Seriously, your guys' support is what makes this channel possible and allows me to continue making as many videos as I do and covering as much news as I do. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.